Okay. Hey everybody, my name is Sharon Quinn and I'm also known as the original runway diva, and you are watching Model Behavior. Class is officially in session. Today my guest lecturer is Andre Chulisi Rodriguez. He is an actor, a facilitator, a runway coach, a poet, and a playwright. Welcome. What name did you tell me to call you? You said
Chulisi.
I'm gonna call you Andre because that's easier for me.
Yes.
Welcome,
a lot of people do that.
Andre.
Thank you,
to
my
Model
love.
Behavior.
Yes.
Now, Sabrina brought you to me. She saw your one-man.
Yes, I have a one-man show.
And she was just floored, and she said, "You gotta interview him. You gotta interview him." So here you are. Let's start off with your one-man show.
I wrote a one-man show called "I'm Just Saying." It's off my book that I have called Slip, Trips, and Falls. Mm-hmm. It's a personal essay and a memoir. It's a journey of my life, how I came to where I'm at now through the addiction, prostitution, abuse of all types. And I finally wrote a play about it, and I do my mom. I do one of the crackers that I used to hang out with that kind of brought me up, taught me the streets so that I didn't die out on the streets. I have the guy that's in the closet, all these little characters, and in between these characters coming into their knowing is poetry in between. So it kind of like seals the deal. It has an arc. It's a complete full story of my life from the time I was born to like about when I got clean.
Oh, okay. So now you wrote, this is your life story.
Yes.
What was the response to that? Because you just dropped a whole lot of stuff in the middle of that.
When I did the show, it amazed me how many people remembered these characters, because they're like, yo, I got someone like this in my family, or this guy's in the hood. Like, they're very, for people of color, mm-hmm. These are people that we all know. People we grew up with, people that have been our best friends, people that we've helped, nurtured, reflected on. So the response has been great. I'm about ready to put it on tour.
Really?
I have another show in October. It's going to be at the Mott Haven Bar and Grill in the Bronx. We're going to give it a try there because I'm going to extend a couple of the characters.
You know, since you're talking about your characters, how a one-man show is hard. It
was by accident. Let's just say I had just gotten clean at 26. And I didn't want to do anything, and this playwright came up to me, and he was like, I want to give you this script. And I was like, I don't act. He goes, try it. And Sharon, I've been acting 22 years solid ever since.
Just from that one script, you just knew that was the thing for you. This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
And then I did a one-man show from an amazing actress named Marilyn Torres. She was one of the actors that I did my very first play at, and she was like, the world needs to hear what you got to say. And I've been doing that ever since, man. Like, I love one-people shows. I think it's an amazing cleansing for you spiritually. There's a connection that you have with your audience that you can't get. I do full casts also, but my thing is one-people show. I just did a workshop of an intensive one-person show, which is September 1st and 2nd. We're going to go up at the National Black Theater. So I had 8 students, and they're putting up their one-person show, and it's intensive. You only have 2 months.
And your students, are they writing these one-person?
Yes, they have to come with 5 pages already written. You can't come to me with nothing. You got to come to me with a concept, and in those 8 weeks, 1 time a week, we're going to work on the concept, put the other 3 pieces up. What is your arc? What are you doing? What do you want to say? What is rightfulness? How truthful is it? And authentic? Let's go.
Okay, so let me ask you.
Yeah.
So how do you come up with the voice for each of the characters?
You're asking the right questions.
Because you can't do them all the same. So how do you come up with the...
You just write. Just write. Just write and write and write. Let these voices come to life and just write. Don't edit. Don't do none of that. Just write. Each voice is going to come to you, and it's going to say what it needs to say. Mom, she was the one that spoke, and for 3 weeks, she just, and I just wrote everything down. I didn't edit. When finally the voices in my head stopped, that's when I knew that they had all spoken what they needed to speak.
Oh my God. I had another playwright on here, Kimberly Q, and if she didn't say that exact same thing,
people don't understand. If you are a writer, it comes with its own energy, and you must, as a creative aspect of your gift, you have to allow that to bring its own energy in. You can't sit with a book and say, well, today Ma's gonna speak. What happens if today Ma didn't want to speak? What happens if Uncle wanted to speak? Doesn't mean they're gonna be in the play, but maybe Uncle needs to relinquish something that'll allow that to come back in for Ma to speak from a different perspective, and you just write. Once all of that is done, then you sit with yourself and you put each character in his perspective. Ma's pages, the brother on the down low pages, the crackhead on the pages. Now, what are you guys trying to tell me? That's when you start crossing out. Okay, that's just filler. That's just crap. We don't need to talk about, okay, this is, all right, this is the meat. And then you start realizing that the play brings its own energy. It guides you. And you as an artist, you have to put your ego out and say, okay, what is really happening here? What is it that you guys really want to tell the world? And it just happens. You'll know. You will know.
That is fascinating. And this is what you teach in this workshop.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm known for. I received an OLA award in 2012.
What's an OLA award?
OLA is Hispanic Organization of Latin Actors. I did a play called Growing Up Gonzalez, and I played two brothers, a junkie and a brother's a little slow. And the slow brother died, and his urban brother, let's just say the ghetto brother, found his diaries and found out that his brother had lived this life of looking up to him and how he came to be. And it ran for 7 months. 7 months, 3 times a week. I was exhausted.
Oh my God.
But after all of that, Ola and Odelco, which is like the
I know what an
equivalent.
Odelco award is.
Listen, I don't take myself seriously. I do this to keep me sane. It helps me spiritually. It keeps the voices from overpowering. I do it because I love what I do. I don't do it because I want to be famous. I don't do it because I want awards. So when I got all these accolades, Sharon, it until this day, I'm still so humbled by the experience. Like,
now you said you don't want the voices to overtake. What do you mean?
When you're artistic, you need to always be artistic. I can't understand someone being artistic and not following it. You don't have to be big in it, but if you're a painter, paint something. If you're a singer, maybe you don't want to be in a studio, but you got to sing sometime. You got to let that go. That's a gift. That's a gift you have. Maybe it's not meant for the world. Maybe it's just meant for you, but you have to be artistic and follow that. And there was a time when I just wasn't doing anything artistic because I was so busy living, hustling, trying to get by. And I don't know, just like I sat in bed once and I just put paper to a pen and through the writing, the realization came, this is what you have to do, Dre. You can't sit. You can't stay. You're stuck. You need to let it out. And these characters are going to help you become a much better person to yourself through the whole transformation. I'm still peeling. I'm still peeling.
You see my face, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's what I go through, what I teach, to see people who come to me with 3 pages and they leave with 25 pages and these characters, these voices. I just sit there and like, now in my age of 48, I'm doing what I was meant to, and I really mean that. I threw it out into the universe. Sharon, I sat in my bed and I said, God, I'm gonna retire in 9 years. You need to start opening up. What am I supposed to be doing in?
And it just happened.
Literally, every month there's something new on my plate. Literally in my plate. And I'm just like, boop, boop, I'm walking, boop, boop, I'm walking, boop, boop, I'm walking. Like, I'm not stopping. Like, we're going in.
I'm gonna ask a dumb question. It's not dumb, but it's, now, when you were back living your life, could you even see?
No.
The stuff that...
Because I was worried about living, meaning paying the rent, going home, working, overtime. I was exhausted. So that alone was blocking me from what my goal was. It wasn't until a friend of mine, every time I told the industry, people that I work with, I'm not acting anymore, the phone is off the hook. Yo, I got a role for you, I got a role for you. So for 2 years, I was like, I don't want to do nothing because I really just want to get on my feet. I want to save money, I'm an average brother, I do what I do. And one friend of mine was like, Andre, there's this play and only you can play this role. And I need you to do it. And I was like, I really don't have the time. He's like, just read it. And it was the one solo play, Growing Up Gonzalez, written by Felix Rojas. He found me on FB. And when he first gave me the play, I didn't want to do it. Each play, each role you get should reflect the part of your life that you're either going through or you have just finished getting over. I tell my students that all the time. If you got a role in your hand and it's not reflecting where you finished coming from or what you're going through, the role ain't for you. And at this point, this play was dealing with, number one, the character's name was my brother's name. Right off the bat, I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And then me and my brother, we're brothers because we're brothers. We're not brothers because we're like real tight. We love each other, but we don't do a lot of the hanging. Mm-hmm. And just realizing that the urban guy reflected so much of my brother, I was able to, this character helped me understand my brother. Ah. Where I couldn't converse with him, this character conversed with me. My sister's passing, the memories I have of her, I was until 16. The character that had died in the play that I'm replaying, every night, I was just learning more and more about my sister and her addiction and what she went through and how she looked at it was the most amazing transformation I've ever been through, 7 months. And the only reason why we stopped was because I had told Felix, I'm exhausted.
And you said you were doing how many months?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for 7 straight months.
And then going to a regular
Going to my regular job, 9 to 5. I have the most unglamorous job in the world, Tanya. I work picking up and cleaning and maintaining train stations.
Look, a job is a job.
Oh, yeah, I'm very grateful for it because I never worry about my rent. But it is what it is.
And that's not going to be there forever.
Right. But I was just exhausted. Literally going from work, and then I just had time to go home and then be out, So by the time I got on that stage and left, I was like, I'm done. I felt like zombie apocalypse. I was so done.
Now, okay, you also sing.
Yes.
And you've recorded some house tracks.
I've been singing in the freestyle era. I had a couple of records out, and I went through this thing where my parents weren't very happy about me singing. My stepdad was like, you can't sing. You have the most weirdest voice. And at that time, in my youth, I didn't understand that your voice is your voice. It's given to you for a reason. I have the most distinct voice in the world.
Do.
Like I can't get away with nothing on no one's phone. Hey, how you doing? Andre, how do you know? It's like that kind of voice. And after doing everything, after teaching the workshops, doing the plays, I do spoken word now, self-publishing my book. I just told God, you know what? I'm ready to sing. If it's meant for me to do the next plateau, and that is to cut a record, send it to me. And one thing led to another. I went on Instagram and an FB, and I sang, this ain't no game, it's a love thing. Mm-hmm. Guy hit me up, he was like, yo, can you sing like that all the time? I was like, yeah. He was like, check it out. And it so happens that these two producers are very big producers. I don't want to give too much out. They're really big producers. And we sat there. I went in to sing one track. I ended up coming out with 2 tracks. He was blown away by me. My favorite love of life is jazz. That's what I do like to sing. That's what I can sing no matter what. I can have a cold and sing jazz.
And you have the perfect voice for that.
And he gave me this really hardcore house beat, like a house beat of life. And I wanted to talk about what's happening now in times, being of color and how we're free, but we're really not free.
Oh,
and
come on,
I started scatting, and he was like, you're kidding me, right? He was like, can you do it again? He put me another beat, and I was like, I can sing that. And I gave him a chorus to that, and I gave him a chorus to this. And I have an array of female singers.
So the writing just flows.
The minute you put the beat on, bam.
What?
I gotta let you know I'm on Sharon Quinn show. The divas got it going on and on and on and on. It's just, you gotta reach a place where you're not thinking here. Sharon, you gotta not think.
Let it flow.
And the things that come out, it's...
Because I'm definitely an overthinker.
And you can't.
And I love to write. And let me just tell you that I will sit there and have just great ideas.
Bam, write it
but
immediately.
I don't write depending on what idea it is, I'm like, oh, that's a good one. I got to write that one down.
Write everything down because everything leads to a thought that leads to a thought that leads to a thought. So maybe let's just say the thought is, I really like those shoes. And you're playing with that in your head. Write it down, I really like those shoes. What that's probably saying is a story of a pair of shoes that you probably turned it out on a runway and you just remembered them. That's how it starts. And bam, you have your story. So it went from, I love those shoes to, let's talk about the red shoes. And it ends up into a whole different thing. But you always have to do those segues. You gotta just write it, bam. And maybe it's just a thought. That's your gift saying, just write that for now, you'll come back to it. And one day you'll come back to it. Maybe a week later you'll look and you'll be like, shoes. Oh my God, I remember this designer that did these shoes. Ooh, and you're writing. And before you know it, like it's a whole thing, man.
Wow, okay, I'm gonna have to try that.
Please.
And I could write my butt off, though. Let
me
just tell you, I can write.
I was tickled when I heard about you. I was tickled. I told my husband, I was like, I'm meeting Sharon Quinn. He was like, who? I was like, the bald diva. He was like, no. I was like, you see, God is listening, and I know. He knows that I want to know. So I was so tickled that I meet you now, and I'm like, this is dope. This is like so dope. This is so dope.
So check it out. You do the works. You're a performance poet and a facilitator to acting and writing workshops.
Yes, we do a writing workshop in the Bronx called the Full Sunday Writing Circle, and it's a bunch of us writers every Sunday from 10 in the morning to 1. It's prompt driven. We give you a prompt, and for the first hour and a half, you just write on prompts. Like we'll give you a prompt like write about your favorite color, but add just one emotion, things like that, so that it gets the juices flowing. And then I take over at 11:30 and I teach you how to find the levels in your voice, how to be expressive, because poetry to me is it's the voice of the people. And it makes me go crazy when I would go to shows and everybody sounds the same. So he took me and the love was, and I tell my students, how can you have a poem about being mad, about being in love and being depressed, but you sound the same? I was like, okay, we gotta change the game up. So I teach my students, listen, there's emotions within those words and you have to tap into that. Don't be scared to actually, sounding depressed does not have to sound, and I wanna kill myself. There's so many different ways to say that. And I wanted to kill myself. I said the same thing with just a different intent. It's the same thing. So I teach them that. I teach them their levels of their voices. What is your intent? What are you really trying to say? What part of that poem is cute and what part of the poem you want the people that when they hear you say it, they left with that? That at the end of the day, they may not remember Sharon Quinn.
But
they remember that one line, baby. That one line that you said with that intent. They'll be like, it was the one that she said about those red shoes. And they'll be like, oh, that's Sharon. They were like, yo. And that's how you start creating that.
And how long does this workshop, how many weeks?
It runs for 3 months and then we throw it.
That's a lot of writing.
Yeah, but it's every Sunday. So like we write about different stuff and then after it goes, we do about a month and a half of intense rehearsals, and you're right on stage, baby. We give
you do the. Wait a minute. You do the workshops, the writing workshops, and then you perform.
I get them on stage, yeah, baby.
Oh.
So September 1st and 2nd at the National Black Theater, we're gonna have them for the first time. I'm gonna combine the Sunday Writing Circle, which turns into the Full Circle Ensemble, and then my one-person intensive workshops. So in between, you're gonna have the poetry and the one-person show, the poetry, the one-person show, the poetry, the one-person show. It's gonna be 2 days. We're so excited.
Man, that sounds awesome.
Let me know what's up. Let me know what's up, baby. I'll get you there. I'll get you there.
I could walk to that.
Yeah, it's right there, 125 and Fifth Avenue. Yeah, right there.
Now, before I run, that's where I grew up at. I grew up over there.
Really?
That was my stomping grounds for a long time.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about the self-publishing thing really quick. So you self-published author, slips, trips, and falls.
Right.
How did you come to know that you wanted to self-publish it rather than follow?
One, I really did the self-publishing just for the fact of, let me see who bites. I want to put it out there. I want to experience this. I know a lot of friends that are writers, and they were like, when you throw out a book, you're responsible for it. The big publishers will publish you, but it's your responsibility to tour the book, get dates, perform it.
And I think people think that the publishing house does all of that.
No. They don't do none of that. It's like marrying It's like marrying Zsa Zsa Gabor. It doesn't mean you're going to get the diamonds on it. It just means that you marry Zsa Zsa Gabor. You know what I'm saying? So when I self-published it, what came in handy is that I was a performer already. Mm-hmm. So every time I perform, I bring my books. And they just start selling. Mm-hmm. And Amazon does it. You can go right on Amazon. They have Create Space. Bam, they have it all for you. All you got to do is just write it out. Boom, they give you a book, you look at it, you proof it. Oh, this is great. Send it through, and that's it, baby.
Now you do print by demand, or you?
I can print by demand, yes, absolutely. And it's always print by demand. If you self-publish, it's print by demand. So if you want to buy my book on Amazon, they'll print it because you ordered it on Amazon. But I always walk. When I do a show, I'll bring like about 50 or 60 of them.
Now, so you can put your self-published book and sell it on Amazon?
Yeah, automatically, yeah.
So how much of a cut does Amazon get? Because I know they get a cut.
It's not that much.
Really?
Not at all.
So you could put your stuff on Amazon and still get to keep the bulk of your monies.
Perform. You perform it. It's not that expensive. At the price they give it to you, and the price you're gonna sell it for, baby. Mama's gonna eat pork chops. You know what I mean? It's a great experience. And after I did it, I don't think I want to be in a publishing house unless they're willing to put me on top billing. Otherwise,
oh, it's like that.
You're doing everything by yourself. Even if you get published by a big publisher, you yourself have to get an agent. That agent has to book you in a bookstore, doing tours here and doing that. For that, you know what? I'm gonna publish my own book, and I'm gonna sell my own book. They have independent bookstores now. So they don't care. So they don't care if you have a big publisher or not. What they care about is, how you gonna sell your book? Well, I have a one-man show. Really? Well, sure, I can give you a space in my store.
Does it really work like that?
Yeah, man. I was totally blown by that. I was like, really? It's that? Yeah, man.
So, I didn't know you could do that.
Yes, you can.
So in this age of self-publishing, you definitely need to have something else happening to fuel interest in your book.
Yeah. If you're a poet, you're gonna have to perform in the poet circuit. Go to a lot of independent mom and pop stores. They'll take you. There's a lot of stores that will take you. There's certain stores that only take they have a little section for just self-published, and they prefer self-publishers within their neighborhood. So when the tourists come, a lot of tourists ask, do you have any self-published people about this neighborhood? Because they're visiting, they want to know about it. They don't want the glamorous, beautiful book. They want the book that talks about that time.
So tourists are actually asking this sort of stuff?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I didn't know it either. When I went into one store, the lady had just a plain, nice size section of just self-published. And I was like, this is really great. She goes, honey, the tourists that come, they want to know the story of the natives, of the real natives that live here. They don't want to hear like the classics or whatever. They want to hear like, wow, this is what it is to grow in this neighborhood. Because as tourists, they get the pretty part of the city.
True.
They want to hear the urban part of the city, like what's really the deal. And self-publishers do that. That's what we talk about. We don't make everything sound beautiful and glam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of us can write it that way, but even then.
But the street novels make a killing, though.
Ooh, don't they ever?
They move a lot of books.
And that's what they want. A lot of tourists, and a lot of Spanish and black tourists from other countries come here to hear our story. Because, to be honest, New York, we're pretty closed-minded. When you start traveling other world, they're much more different than we are.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different, beautiful delicacy. But they come here and they like to hear that grit. They like that urbanish. They like that
That's
poetry.
what makes New York, too.
Absolutely. I wouldn't change it for a world. I am not a country boy. That ain't happening.
Now, let me ask you, now when you do full cast plays, too, right?
Yes. I direct them. I've written them.
How do you spot talent in people?
It's just a click.
Is it just something you know right away?
Yeah. There's a lot of people in the industry now that I saw something in them and I pushed them. Oh no, do it. Just do it. Don't worry about it, just do it. Some of them are great at it. Some of them are doing great, but you know how people be. You know, people be people in life and be life in, and they do what they do. And I'm good with that. I don't do it for acknowledgement. I don't do it because it puts me on a pedestal. I really don't care. Just take what I give you and just make it your own and go. Go forth, young man.
Do you have open auditions? Do you do it like that, or you just rather
Yes, I have
find
open auditions,
people?
but if there's a certain when people give me plays and there's certain roles that I just know this person will be so good in it, I go straight to the source. Yo, girl, yo, guy, check it out. I need you for this day. And it's gotten to a point where actors that I do call, they actually come and they're like, if Andre's calling me, if Chulisi's calling me, it's got to be something delicious, and it usually is.
Now you working on something?
Yes.
Something new?
Yo,
real quick,
yeah.
because we only got a couple minutes left.
I have 2 plays that have been landed in my hand. One is about a psych ward, which is an amazing story of one woman and her adventure in a psych ward, and how she came to be broken down and then came to her own sense. And I have one about 7 sisters who are lost, dressed all in white, women of color, and they find themselves through these conversations because each of them carries their own world that they forgot about. And they don't understand that as they continue to talk, each one is the connection to each other's world.
And that's one that you wrote?
No, this was given to me by this fabulous writer called Trayvon Byram. Ooh, she can write, baby. She can write. She can write. And she didn't want to do it. This is what I'm saying. I read her stuff and I was like, yo, like, what are you doing with this? She's like, well, I have a play out. And I'm like, listen, print the play, give it to me. Read it. Give it to me. I read it and I called her up and I said, all right, we're going to do a table read. What? Yeah, we're going to do a table read. We're going to bring it to life. What? I'm going to believe in you until you can believe in yourself.
I'm going to stop you right there because I hear the music coming in real low. We almost out of time, but I'm definitely coming to see the workshop.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely auditioning for that play you just threw out there.
Yes.
And since you're right around the corner, we definitely have a cocktail soon.
Oh, we have to.
But
yes.
we're almost out of time. So I want to thank my guest, Andre Chulisi Rodriguez, for sharing his industry knowledge with us today. Now, before I go, as always, I'd like to leave you with a few thoughts. I want you to remember that you can't change the game until you first learn the game. Always surround yourself with positive people and positive things. Do what you love and love what you do. But be who you are. Be who you are, but be who you are tastefully. Always have a little class about yourself. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. Thanks for watching Model Behavior, and I'll see you guys next week. Class is officially dismissed. Bye, y'all.